So good afternoon. Welcome everybody to UW-Stout. We're thrilled that you are here today. As UW-Stout's Chancellor, we're very proud of what we do here, and we are just delighted that Secretary Romanski and Secretary Taylor decided on Stout for this announcement. So, as a Polytechnic, Stout is very committed to all things innovative, interdisciplinary, and really thinking about solutions to solving some of today's pressing issues, right? So that's what we do as a Polytechnic. We believe in that applied research, and we believe in really working on that which helps us to solve problems. And so among our unique array of programs, Stout offers degrees in packaging and food science and technology. And our students in these disciplines, they're very good in gaining knowledge in their disciplines, but they're equally good at working in an interdisciplinary way and learning from people's expertise across disciplines, again, to solve and address real-world issues in areas like food production, quality control and standardization, product delivery, and sustainability. So again, we are absolutely honored and just delighted to have been chosen for today's announcement. And it is an honor to be able to introduce to you all today Secretary Randy Romanski of the Wisconsin Department of Agriculture, Trade, and Consumer Protection. Thank you.
Thank you, Chancellor. Thanks, everybody, for being here. A special thanks to USDA Undersecretary Alexis Taylor, who's joining us today as well. I'm just going to talk a little bit about the importance of exports and how it's important how we export things. Wisconsin is a top producer of a wide variety of specialty crops and a variety of products. And we look forward to working with Wisconsin businesses and our partners at the federal level as we further those endeavors and actually connect them even closer. The DACCAP's International Agribusiness Center staff provide technical expertise and marketing experience and assistance to Wisconsin's food and agricultural companies to aid in the growth of Wisconsin agriculture through increased exports and the development of trade-enhancing partnerships. Now, that's really important to all states, but it's very important to a state like Wisconsin that has such a diverse agriculture industry. Here's a good example. Here's why this matters. Here's why it matters that we have the ability to do things sustainably, to move products around the world. Wisconsin farmers and food processors produce a lot of products. And if we look at something like specialty crops, specialty crop exports were over $110 million of Wisconsin's almost $4 billion agriculture exports in 2023. Now that's nearly 15% above 2022. So not only are specialty crops very important to Wisconsin, they are continuing to be growing in importance around the world. Some of these won't surprise you, but leading specialty crops that Wisconsin is known for is some things like ginseng, where we produce about 95% of the U.S. ginseng. Cranberries, where we just were visiting a cranberry marsh a little bit earlier today. Wisconsin produces over 60% of the cranberries in the United States. There are other things that are considered specialty crops as well. Potatoes. Wisconsin's the third leading potato producing state in the U.S. We're number 4 in tart cherries. And I can kind of go on and on with the kinds of products that get shipped around the world from Wisconsin. So we're really appreciative of the USDA and Undersecretary Taylor for not only being here, but making the announcement that she's about to make. And I'm going to leave that to her. Just as a brief introduction, not only is Undersecretary Taylor a partner now in her role at USDA, she's a former colleague of mine, having been a secretary in the Oregon Department of Agriculture. She's originally from Iowa, so not too far away from here. And there's a lot more in her bio that I won't go through. But Chancellor, you mentioned problem solving and addressing real world issues. That's the way that Undersecretary Taylor addresses things. That's the way the USDA addresses things. And we're just really happy to be joining you today. Undersecretary Taylor? That's it.
Well, good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for being here and joining us. And a special thanks to UW-Stout, Chancellor Frank, for hosting us. It's been a great day here in Wisconsin. This morning, as Secretary Romanski said, we were at the Wisconsin Cranberry Research Station in Black River Falls and had a great roundtable discussion with many women agricultural leaders from Wisconsin agriculture, many from the specialty crop sector here in Wisconsin as well. And then we toured the research station, which I think really built perfectly on the coming here. We saw a lot of innovative work in sustainable packaging going on. And I think that was a really great, because we even saw cranberry pumice being utilized in sustainable packaging, in plastic film, and many other projects that the students here and the faculty here are advancing. And why is that important? And I think it ties in so great to our announcement today. It's important because many countries around the world are starting to move away from single-use packaging. This is something that our specialty crop sector are utilized quite a bit. These are highly perishable products, and having those packagings that were designed specifically for freshness, for the ability to ship products all over the world, moving away to new alternatives, I think, is important from an environmental standpoint, but we need to help our industry be able to find these new innovative solutions. And so today, we are announcing the first tranche of $20 million from something we have created, the Assisting Specialty Crop Exports, known as ACE, which is a $100 million program. So the first $20 million will go into 5 priority areas. And we are announcing all of these 5 priority areas as a notice of funding availability or notice of funding opportunity today. And so industry, other partners will be able to come and apply for these funding opportunities starting today. The first project is around Sustainable Packaging Innovation Lab. That's something we're creating, where we want to partner with organizations just like UW-Stout on the great work that they're doing here on developing sustainable packaging alternatives to single-use plastics, and then helping those products get to development and from development to commercialization. One example of this is Canada, why this is important. Canada recently proposed to eliminate 95% of single-use packaging in fruits and vegetables. Canada is one of our largest trading partners. Many fresh fruits and vegetables from the United States, from Wisconsin, are heading there. And so this could have a huge impact. And so we want to make sure that Wisconsin potatoes and cranberries can continue to access those markets with these new packaging alternatives. The second project we are going to be funding is information on foreign market requirements on residues around maximum residue limits, known as MRLs. This is really important. Producers have many requirements. Many of the producers talked to me about today, this morning, were all of the documentation, all of the requirements that they have to take on as specialty crop producers. And what we're going to do is provide and create quick reference guides for the top 60 specialty crops, their top export markets, and what these MRLs are, so producers can help quickly identify them so they can continue to farm and focus on their business and their operation. The third project we are announcing funding for is harmonizing MRL import requirements in multiple regions. We are focusing on Asia, Latin America, and Africa, and we're looking for a partner to work there. What we find is every country can set different MRLs, and that becomes a huge challenge for an exporter, for a specialty crop producer who might want to go to multiple countries right next door to each other. So working with those trading partners to harmonize those MRLs and have them based upon science and easily accessible, so a producer in the United States can use a pesticide product confidently that they can hit multiple markets in the region. The next project is helping to support data to develop new Codex MRLs. At the Foreign Agricultural, in my role, I oversee the Foreign Agricultural Service, but also the U.S. Codex Office, which is the Codex Alimentarius Commission is an international body that sets food safety standards that facilitate trade. But what we find, and we actually heard this from Secretary Romanski, we've heard it from the Wisconsin ginseng growers, producers here, is the smaller the specialty crop, the less data and capacity to collect that data on MRLs needed under Codex. And so what we're going to be doing is funding some projects to help these smaller industries collect some of this data to be able to do the scientific work at Codex to get international Codex standards set in the specialty crop sector. And then the fifth is a project focused on import MRLs in the Asia-Pacific Economic Community. APEC, the United States is a member of, and we do a lot of work about science-based standards, particularly around MRLs. Again, these MRLs can be huge barriers for exports to our specialty crop producers, and our ability to help support our industry in this really critical growing region that is the Asia-Pacific Economic Cooperation Forum, I think is really important. One that our industry in the United States, our specialty crop industry in the United States identified, and we're really excited to put some funding towards this. As I mentioned, all of these projects are coming for available proposals today. We're really excited about that. And we will be rolling out new tranches of funding with additional targets for the specialty crop sector and opening up new exports here later this year and throughout next year as well. And so, again, really appreciate seeing firsthand what UW-Stout students and faculty are doing in the sustainable packaging space, and excited to see how these projects and these investments can really help Wisconsin producers continue to tap into international markets around the world, which is so critical to, I think, the economic viability of Wisconsin agriculture and ultimately of Wisconsin. So thank you for being here, and I look forward to questions that anyone may have.
Undersecretary Taylor, so for the industry, for like UW-Stout, so they could potentially apply for some funding to develop packaging here at Stout, but they also apply for maybe some of the other projects, data study. I mean, is that something that would be eligible to not only Stout but other universities here in Wisconsin?
Yes, absolutely. We need the technical expertise that we have across the country at campuses like UW-Stout. And every project will have, if you go online under those notices of funding, the eligible entities, but the ones you called out exactly, organizations, partners, campuses like UW-Stout are exactly some of the industry partners that we hope and university partners that we hope apply for these types of dollars, because they also know the sectors that we're talking about, these smaller specialty crop sectors, and so they're going to know some of the unique challenges they experience as well. And so we're really excited to be able to partner, and hopefully these are attractive funding opportunities for UW-Stout and other universities across Wisconsin and the country.
Follow up with the funding that's being announced today. So when, for example, if Stout would apply for something, when would that funding then be available for them to start using?
So these funding opportunities will be open for 60 days for us to get applications. And then at that time, it a little bit varies based upon how many projects we have to review. And then we'll be reaching out and announcing those publicly, probably September, I would say fall. Let's not say September, but sometime in the fall, it will be our hope. Mm-hmm. Thank you. Other questions? Great. Well, thank you all for being here. We are really excited to make this investment in specialty crops across the United States. It is actually a priority of the U.S. Department of Agriculture. We launched, I should have mentioned this at the beginning, the Specialty Crop Specialty Crop Competitiveness Initiative, SCCI. Everything gets a name and then gets an acronym in the federal government. But what we're trying to do is really expand our support for U.S. specialty crop producers. Exports and trade is a component of that, and that's really where the ACE program came out of. And so we're excited about this additional support and really excited to see how it can help producers on the ground here in Wisconsin. So thank you so much.